So welcome everyone to this introductory talk to Ascended Master Sarah. I'm really happy you're here and that I'm able to share this with you in this way over the internet like this. It's amazing technology. It's the first time I've used it. So please bear with me if I have any little problems with using things. I have tried to mute people that are joining because this is just me talking today. We're not having a back and forth class. I've got a chat box on the right. Hopefully you can all see that. And you should be able to ask questions and give me feedback. Yeah, it all seems to be working so far. There's going to be a recording of this after the session that will just be up on Learn It Live site under my class, so you'll be able to go back and listen to this again. So first of all, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to be talking about today, and I am going to be giving you an introduction to how I work with Ascended Master Sarah. Then we're going to be doing a meditation. Then I'm going to be doing a channeling. And then I'm going to be talking a little bit about what work I'm actually doing with her and what groups I'm doing. You can ask questions at any point. I might see them, I might not see them. I'll do my best to keep looking up and down. So we can stay in contact that way. But if you have joined with your microphone, please can you mute it? Otherwise I'll have to go in and out of this screen and mute it for you. Okay. So let's all take a breath together. Just close your eyes and just feel that we're coming into sacred space together. So we're all sitting in different parts of the globe, different parts of the earth, but energetically we're coming into a circle together with Sarah. She's bringing a nice unifying presence to us. And very grounding as well. Her presence is very grounding. So first of all, I wanted to say that Sarah is the daughter of Mary Magdalene and the Master Jesus, and that is how she first came to me. But today I'm not going to be talking about any historical aspects of Sarah or any religious aspects of Sarah. So I haven't actually introduced myself. My name is Rachel Goodwin. I am first and foremost an energy healer. I've been doing energy healing for over 20 years, and it's how I experience the world. I experience things as vibration and as energy first and foremost. And so all of my work is kind of coming from that perspective. And I'm talking about Sarah today from the perspective of the energies that she's bringing to us and the energies that she's holding and the energies that she's bringing for us to work with. So this is a very much here and now perspective of Sarah. How she wants to work with us now. It's not about the past. Other people talk about that. That's fine. I'm really interested in what they have to say. I'm always very interested in the mythology around Sarah because I think it really speaks what's coming out of the collective consciousness or unconsciousness. And there's a lot of richness to be gained from that, but that is not what I do. I work with her on an energetic level, and I empower other people to work with her on an energetic level as well. So if I say a little bit about how she first came to me, because that was back in 2006, and it was actually while I was teaching classes on working with the energies of earth vortexes, sacred places, power places on the big island of Hawaii. And it was the last, I think there was maybe 4 or 5 or 6 of them. It's a few, I can't remember so well now, but it was the last class. And I taught the class, and it was on a Lemurian vortex that just had this incredible energy of love. And I opened at the end to channel, because I do channeling as well. And instead of being a Hawaiian deity or elemental force or something like that, which is what I expected and what it had been up until that point, it was actually Sarah that came through, and she said something like, "Welcome, I am Sarah, Ascended Master Sarah, daughter of the Magdalene." And that is how she presented herself to me, which is very interesting for me. I think she was trying to get on the right side of me, because I love working with the divine feminine. That's very much kind of where I have been energetically, and in my past lives I've been a goddess person over and over and over again in many past lives. So that was Sarah then in 2006. And what I've experienced over the years is that she has come more and more present on the earth plane. And she is here physically. And when I say she's here physically, I don't mean she's here as a person walking around in a body somewhere, although I have communicated with many people who feel they are a soul aspect of Sarah, but that's something slightly different. What I mean when I say she's here physically is that she's here on the etheric planes, which is, you know, what hold the blueprint for our physical body. And everything in manifest creation, all these layers of spheres that we work with, and maybe you've heard of as well as healers. So the astral plane and the causal plane, and, you know, whatever, the Davic plane, whatever, they all actually exist within manifest creation. And that's part of what I'm going to be talking about today. But Sarah's presence and her archetypal force has actually come right down into the etheric. So it's almost close enough to touch. And that is going throughout the earth grid. However, in the work that I've done with her in groups, and we've done together, a number of us working together as a group, what we're finding is that she's here to work with us on an evolutionary level. So let me just make sure I'm following my notes here. We're at the point of a massive evolutionary leap in humanity. And Sarah seems to be working very much with the earth grid and also with our own light bodies. So she's really instrumental in giving us tools and support in going through these phases. Now, I'm not saying she's the only way to do these things. Of course, that's not the truth, but she is a way to do this, and she holds some really powerful energies. So she's like a bridge. So if I just step back a bit, so when I first met Sarah in 2006, I had learned how to channel. I went to workshops by a guy called Edwin Courtney, who's a wonderful psychic and clairvoyant and channel. And I learned how to, through him, I learned how to connect to the Ascended Masters and angels, and and then I just went on and just did lots and lots of workshops with him and other people. But in that very first workshop that I did with the Ascended Masters, it was the Master Jesus that, when he said, okay, now ask for an Ascended Master to step forward, it was the Master Jesus who stepped forward and spoke to me. And I was a little bit disappointed, to be honest. I wanted Kuan Yin or someone like that, but I mean, because I really felt I had affinities, and I do have affinities, but I also, because I grew up as brought up in the Church of England, which is a Protestant Christian church, I had quite a lot of baggage around Christianity. So this isn't something that I would have chosen, working with the daughter of the Magdalene. However, that's from a personality point of view. From a soul level and from a spiritual level, I love it. I really love working with these energies. I am so happy. And like over the years, I've kind of gotten over myself and gotten over the difficulties that I've had. I love spirituality. I work with Hinduism and Hawaiian mythology and Scandinavian, and things just sort of come out and leap in front of me the moment where I need to work with them. But I don't ascribe to any one religion, but also like I said, I've got over myself with the Christianity thing. I also don't kind of condemn any religion either. But I mean, religion is something that people make, and spirituality is something that just exists. So, I just want to say that, because a lot of the ways I work with Sarah, I use Sanskrit mantras, for example, or I'll pull in something Hawaiian, or it's very, very eclectic. And I think that really works, actually. I think that really works with her energy. And if you carry on taking classes with me, I think, if you like that kind of thing, you'll probably really enjoy it as much as I do. So yeah, so in that first workshop I did with Edwin, it was the Master Jesus that came forward, and I really could see his energy as like a bright yellow golden color, and he was very that masculine solar force. As time went on and I did more exploration, I started working a lot with Mary Magdalene, and then that was really where I was at home. That was really my soul's energy. And then when Sarah turned up in that Hawaiian workshop, I could really feel that she was the balance between the two of them, except for it wasn't the balance. I could feel they were both there. But what's really exciting about working with Sarah is that she is representing oneness and integration. So if you take the divine feminine and you take the divine masculine and you bring them together, they actually create a third unifying force, which is, one way of seeing it is life force. And it's actually representing a more ancient energy than the divine masculine and divine feminine, because it is what was before. And because I think about these things fairly often, I don't think we're on a path where polarity is about to disappear from the earth plane, but I think we're at a point in our evolutionary development where we can achieve a unified consciousness, so we can connect to that oneness in our consciousness at the same time as having a life of polarity, basically. . So going back to what I was saying about her energy is kind of running through the earth planes, it's kind of running through the earth grid and in the ley lines. It's there to be contacted. It's there to be connected to. However, there is a bit of a leap to get to it. And, you know, this is what we've been finding as we've worked with her over the years, is that she's a little bit advanced for where we are at the moment. And when she first came in, when I connected with her in 2006, she wasn't actually here on the earth plane because we weren't ready. But she's getting closer and closer and closer all the time now, because as she gets closer, so it brings up our stuff that we have to deal with, the shadow, the stuff that's in the way between us and our divinity, if you like. So it's quite a challenging path working with Sarah. It's quite raw, her energy, in a way, because like if we think of like archetypal forces, so you could say like the divine feminine has come through different goddesses. Can't think of it. I don't know. Aphrodite, Freya, which is Freya. There's just so many of them, but they've been worked with a lot. They, you know, they're kind of, it's like a stone that's been polished and become like a beautiful shining tumblestone. Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, you know, these ways that the divine feminine is kind of shining through, they're very, very polished and worked with. Whereas Sarah's energy not being so present on the earth plane, certainly not for a long time, and also never at this level of density of manifest creation. So I'm not saying this is a new energy, I'm saying it's a more ancient energy, and that it's never been present in humanity at this far down. But it's part of the process of us shifting back up again. And like I said, not everyone has to suddenly run out and embrace Ascended Master Sarah, and that's the only way to redemption. I'm not saying anything like that, but I am saying that she is a bridge to the evolutionary development that we're going to take in our consciousness, and she has some really useful tools, and there is a sense of urgency that more people start to connect with her now, and more people are hearing her call, for sure. I can actually feel that opening up in the collective consciousness. Those last two lunar and solar eclipses in January and February, things just really started opening up there. And this is vibrationally, the earth is vibrationally a very different place than it was when I was a child, which, you know, I was born in 1970. Things are very different than they were then. So it's taken me quite a few years to like fully integrate, well, I'm going to say fully integrate Sarah's energies, but of course I haven't, but to integrate them as far as I have. And when I do channeling, when I do the meditations, when I do the attunements, I can create a kind of electromagnetic energy that other people can connect to, and then they can connect up faster. So the things that have taken me like months and years to get to, then people can just come along and just get it straight away. But there is a bit of a leap. So there's two things. People can feel they're a bit distant from her because she's a little bit further ahead than where we are. And then the other thing is it can feel a little bit raw, and like, because she hasn't been worked with as an archetypal force. So I'm going to do the meditation in a minute, But I just wanted to talk a little bit more about how Sarah is working physically. Again, just going to get a bit of water. Sarah is working energetically right into our physical matter. A lot of healing comes from like higher dimensions and comes down and it works down. Sarah's in all of the spheres and she's really, really focused on getting right into that density of matter. And that's quite unusual for an ascended master. So when I first learned channeling, I quickly discovered that if I wasn't in a good place emotionally or mentally or physically, I couldn't get the connection that I needed. When I started working with Sarah some years later, I found that I can always connect with her because she's in all of the spheres. And this is because this is one of her qualities that she has as an integrative force. When she's present, things come into oneness. So she can connect to everything. I can't really talk too much about this because it will take a really long time and it's a class in itself. And I do actually have a class teaching this on another site called Thinkific. And I'll put the link up on here at the end so that you can go and see that if you want to. I just wanted to talk about that physical thing because like before I did this class today, I went for a walk and I opened up to Sarah and I asked her, you know, what do you want me to really emphasize in the class? And she showed me a picture of the earth. And it was that whole that whole idea that we're going through this evolutionary process in co-creation with the earth, and seeing the earth as a conscious being. And so when I like connected to the earth consciousness, this incredible planet that we live on, she or he or whatever way you want to see the earth, is already an actualized being. The earth doesn't need to kind of develop. The earth has taken us on as like a project, like agreed to have us here and help us and support us because it's us that's going through the evolutionary process. And of course, I mean, the earth has her own evolutionary process, but she's a long way ahead of us. However, our destinies are tied together, and we have humanity. When I say we have created a lot of heavy, dense, emotional and mental energies around on the ley lines and the earth grid, and that needs to be shifted and transformed before we can go up to our next evolutionary level, and also before the earth can go up to her next evolutionary level, because what we do affects her because she's like carrying our energy and we're actually made out of her. So we're like inextricably connected. So yeah, I'll talk a bit more about Sarah's earthwork after I've done the channeling and the meditation. So I'm going to do a meditation for a place in England. It's a very, very special place called Chalice Hill. And I know some of you will have been there. And on Chalice Hill, there's beautiful, beautiful gardens. And they're very visible and well known, and it's lovely. The Red Spring comes up there, which is a spring that has a very high level of iron, which makes it red, and it's very goddess, divine, feminine energy. And it's just like when you connect to it, it's just like going deep, 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 deep into the depths of the earth. However, I lived in Glastonbury for a few months. I was going through a very difficult time in my life, and I felt the need just to go and live down there and just walk on the landscape every day, which is what I did. I didn't connect a lot with people, but I connected with the land every day, and I would just let my feet just guide me, and my feet would just wander off, and I would follow my feet, and I found that there was a footpath around to the back of Chalice Hill, and I discovered, or I experienced, that there was an etheric temple actually inside Chalice Hill, and I did a lot of journeying into that hill, and I've shared it over the years. There's different layers to it, but actually it's Mary Magdalene that presides as priestess, and Sarah is the handmaiden here. It contains many mysteries, and I've worked with it and taught about it in different initiations that I've done, Sarah initiations, which I will start doing again and sharing publicly again. It's been a while since I've shared work publicly, because I moved to Denmark and I've had all that to deal with. But I'm finding that the last week I've started to share this temple, this etheric temple again, and just by me talking about it and you hearing it, you can connect up to the special healing qualities that it has. So I'd like you to get nice and comfortable now. If you're not in a position, like we're oh no, you can't be driving because we're streaming, aren't we? But if you're not in a position where you can close your eyes safely, then go back and listen to this later, because this needs to be like a eyes closed meditation. So turn off any phones or anything like that. Take some nice deep breaths. Just let yourself go a little bit quiet inside. Just wrap yourself around in any cloaks of protection that maybe you like to have when you're journeying. Have your helping spirits with you. Any of your spirit guides. And we're going to travel energetically to a hill in Glastonbury called Chalice Hill in the United Kingdom. We're not going to the gardens today. We're going to the other side of the hill, around the back, the hidden side. Just imagine that you're walking up a little footpath. There's some steps, and then a little mud path. And as you approach, you can start to feel that you are walking towards a sacred and holy place. Even though you can't see anything with your physical eye, there's just beautiful, bright green grass and a blue sky and trees. There's trees here and there. around a field of grass. And this field is at the top of the hill. And hidden in this hill is an etheric temple where Mary Magdalene presides as priestess and Sarah is the handmaiden. And today the sun is shining on Chalice Hill. Perhaps you can imagine that you take your shoes off and walk through the soft green grass, feeling that on your feet and feeling the sun on your face. We walk together past old trees, guardian trees, gentle giants, wise guardians. And these trees have many secrets to tell, know many, many secret things. And as we come to the top of the hill, we can see a piece of grass that is growing in the shape of a heart. It's a really large piece of grass that is magically and mysteriously growing in the shape of a heart. And everyone who's listening to this meditation now and in the time ahead, we're all here at the same time, across time and space. We're all here together. And yet there's room for everyone on this piece of grass, shaped like a heart. There's room for everyone, because this is a magical place. This is a magical and sacred place. So imagine that you're laying down on this grass. You can have a comfortable blanket with you if you like. Anything that your imagination wants to provide you with. And you lay down and close your eyes and rest. You feel very relaxed and safe here. And Sarah and Mary Magdalene come together, walking hand in hand. Sarah and Mary Magdalene come together, walking hand in hand. And the Magdalene holds a jar of healing balm. And she rubs some onto your heart center. Mary Magdalene rubs some of this healing balm made with women's ways and women's wisdom. While the Magdalene does this, Sarah blows in a soft pink light, which is in the shape of a heart. While the Magdalene does this, Sarah blows in a soft pink light, which is also in the shape of a heart. And this soft pink heart, made of light, gently settles down into your heart center. As the healing balm that Mary Magdalene gave you does its work. And you feel yourself Breathing in soft calm. Breathing out any pain or tension. Breathing in warm love. Breathing out any grief or anger. Breathing in safety and security. And letting go of any fear or stress. And as this soft pink light of Sarah's love infuses throughout your heart center, it seems easier and easier to let go, supported by the etheric healing energies of the Chalice Hill Temple, supported literally by the earth you're lying on and the energy held therein in this sacred earth temple healing place. And for a moment, everyone just rests here, dreaming a dreamless sleep and allowing every cell in their body to be rejuvenated. Every cell in your body can be rejuvenated in this moment, made safe by the magic of the Magdalene and her daughter. Just rest for a few moments now. Rest for a few moments now. And you can ask Sarah or Mary Magdalene any questions in this place of quietness. Ask them any questions you'd like to know. And allow yourself to receive the answers now or in the days and weeks ahead. And then in a moment, you're going to come back, journey back to where your physical body is. But first say your goodbyes and gently take yourself away, giving your thanks, bringing yourself back to your normal levels of consciousness and awareness, grounding yourself in this time and this place, coming back to your normal levels of awareness now. And all is well. All is well. All is well. Blessed be. Amen. So just give yourself a few moments to come back. Let yourself stretch. I know that you can come and receive this energy again and again, anytime where you feel you need it. The Magdalene has the ability to heal our wounds, and that healing balm has come up over and over again and is wonderful to receive in times of need. So if you want to share anything from that meditation, you can write in the chat box. If you want to share anything about your experience or anything that happened for you. And while you do that, just going to, oh, Sarah, what I should talk about next. So we were visiting an earth temple there, and there's lots and lots of them around the earth. Some are known, some are not known. The ley lines and the earth grid as things are right now, there's still quite a lot of work that needs doing. And actually, a fifth dimensional grid is being kind of grown. It's not finished yet. It's still kind of going through the process, but at some point it will be. Meanwhile, we are living with the old systems. We're bringing in very high fifth dimensional energies, and there's a real divide between trying to live in the everyday with three-dimensional energies and workplaces and the news and what's happening politically and the instability. And then there's these energies that we can reach with our consciousness, and these downloads of energies that many people, myself including, are experiencing. And it can be very, or the tensions between the two can almost feel like, you know, I mean, sometimes one's sort of being pulled apart. So Sarah is offering quite a few tools to integrate that, because Sarah integrates. And one of the things she's been teaching me and the groups of people that I work with is that we can start growing our own net of fifth dimensional light. Yeah, our own net of fifth dimensional light from the place where we live, because we are like many walking creators that can co-create these things. And we need to be okay. We need to stabilize ourselves. We can't kind of bring down the light and make everything okay until we're okay. And more people are getting interested in earth healing now. But for years, it's been about personal healing and group healing. And of course, there is earth healing work, but it hasn't become as widespread as like Reiki and all these other, I mean, there's just so many ways of healing. And also the tools she's teaching, they're very, very easy. So one of the groups I started is on Facebook. I know not everybody's on Facebook, and I understand that, but it's an easy way to reach people. I have a group called I can't remember the name of it now. Oh God, isn't that awful? I can put the links up, but it's about growing your own ascension grid, basically. And that is, you know, Sarah brings down this energy through us, and then we create it. And there's some very simple techniques. So we can't go around growing these things anywhere on the earth, but we can grow it from the place where we live, because the places where we live, we have a very special connection to. Not everybody might realize this. And this is part of kind of the training, is to realize that actually where you live, you have connections to the elemental beings there. You have a field of influence that stretches around your neighborhood. And this is the piece that you can work with and grow an ascension grid. And that is what I'm going to be teaching people. I mean, I have started doing that. We've just sort of started in the first few steps of that. And I'll be doing more workshops and probably classes on here as well. The initial stages are about building relationship with the land, and also about clearing, because there's a lot of stuff out there that's not great. There's a lot of stuff out there that needs, I mean, purifying, you know, cleansing. Sarah has like intensely been working with me with the Violet Flame. So at the beginning of the year, we did a online course, and we worked with, Sarah has an ashram in the Pacific, and we worked with sort of more what is kind of purely Sarah's energy. And that was really intense and amazing. And then as soon as we finished that, I started being, because these processes just kind of happen to me, and then I try and, get through them as best I can. Then a process started of like working with Sarah's Violet Flame. So I'm sure many of you know of the Violet Flame, but if you don't, the Violet Flame is an energy that is used in many different types of esoteric schools to transform and transmute negative energies. And the Earth has her own vibration of Violet Flame. Saint Germain is known as sort of like the overall master of the Violet Flame, but there's lots of different levels and vibrations of the Violet Flame, and Sarah has her own one. And I have been attuning crystal sets to Sarah's Violet Flame, and a group of us have been working with them, and just bringing it down to the physical level like that has really, really done something. And we're discovering that it's a very quick way to shift your stuff from 3D to 5D. So at some point I thought, well, there's only so many sets of like crystals that I can attune, but I can like teach some other techniques. So Sarah gave me some visualizations, and I've also got a symbol channeled as well. So we've got some really concrete ways of bringing in this specific vibration, because for a lot of people it does take a little bit of attunement to reach it, because like I said, Sarah's just like slightly a step away, so you've just sort of got to reach out and grab it to pull it back. So I'm teaching a class about that on Wednesday, on one of the cross quarter days on the equinox, because that's such a powerful day to do Sarah work. I know a lot of people won't be able to attend it live, but it will be there as a recording, and you'll be getting all the techniques and the symbols and stuff that you need. And I'm going to teach you how to work with it and how to use it. It's going to be really, really useful for earth healing, as well as like for yourself. Basically, it's just I've never experienced anything that can shift me out of old patterns and things and into a much preferable way of being. And like many of you, be doing personal development work for years. I trained as a psychiatric nurse. I did loads of training in psychotherapy, psychoanalysis, group therapy, counselling, healing, EFT. You name it. I've either done it, tried it, or trained in it. And it's wonderful to be getting some of these techniques now. If you look at my website, rachelgoodwin.dk, sorry, I'm saying that in a Danish way, rachelgoodwin.dk, and sign up for the Sarah newsletter, which is at the bottom of the Sarah page, I think. You'll get details, because now I've got these online schools. I can just sit and teach to anybody. I have been teaching classes and things for years, but of course it's been local in the places where I've lived, and then I've taught those people, and then that's it. Whereas now I can teach these things, and then they can be there and they can be available to everybody, which is just absolutely amazing. So I'm going to shut up now for a minute, and I'm going to ask Sarah to come through and see what she has to say. And also, it's very much about her sharing her energy. It's not just the words that come through. You will get your own sort of transmission of energy from her that's specific to you, and also you might get some illuminations or insights along with it as well. So all right, it just So when I channel, I'll go quiet for a few moments, and then I'll close my eyes, and then when I open my eyes and start talking again, I'll be channeling Sarah's energy. So just let yourself go quiet inside. Sarah's energy will start to come through a lot more strongly now. Welcome, I am Sarah. I bid you welcome, 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 and offer you my greetings. Many of you have connections to me from lives gone by, and many of you have worked together in groups in lives gone by to work with the earth and to bring through these special aspects of the divine. But whether or not we have connected before, because there are some new souls coming through now who have also come to work with the earth, fresh and pure souls. All of us are joining together in a circle, and in that circle is strength, and integrity that holds the whole circle together. Integrity of power, energetic integrity. Know that those things that you are called to do are special and sacred. And although the society you live in, and that is reflected around you, does not appreciate or understand the mystery and sacredness of these things that you are called to do, it does not matter. What matters is that you understand and know how special and needed you are. And this is part of the urgency of my message. Don't stand back now. Don't hold yourself back. Do everything you can within what is reasonable on your time and resources. Give what you can. Do what you can. And if you feel a pull or a desire to do a certain spiritual work, then take that seriously. Do not think it is unimportant, because I tell you that the earth grid is being built anew, and it is humanity that must stand at the center of that being built. The angelic kingdom, the Davidic kingdom, the elemental forces, all of these things, they cannot do the work for you unless you are there in the center, orchestrating the whole. All of these amazing powers in the earth and the universe work through you and for you. But you must be there. You are the missing link. And there needs to be more of you. And so there shall be. This is just the beginning. This is just the awakening. But I say these things because there is much work to be done, for the consciousness to be shifted, for the consciousness to be changed. So my voice is not a soothing one today. My voice is an empowering one of listen to that heart's desire. Listen to those impulses that you get and do it. Take it. It's yours. You have the power. Don't feel you're not qualified. Learn, do what you can, because you already have many of these things within you. And in truth, they are often not as complicated as you might make them to be. I am Sarah, and my blessings are upon you. And you can always call on me for advice, for guidance. But I walk beside you, not as guide, but as sister and friend. You are here to grow in yourself. You are here to discover your own power. And all the answers that you need are within you. And yes, if you cannot find those answers, I have many, many ways to help you discover what you have lost. But I will never give you those answers myself, because I will not take your power away. I will help you. I will support you. I will shower you with my love. I am here. I am Sarah, and my blessings are upon you. Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be. Amen. Now I'm just going back to what some of you wrote about the meditation while we come down from that Sarah channeling. Julie wrote that it was lovely, calming energy, and that she'll come back to visit again. And Peter wrote, very special, felt clearing of energy, which blocks me from Jesus. That's great. That's great. It's a really wonderful temple to visit. I do have another meditation. I have a YouTube channel, Rachel Goodwin, and there is another meditation on there. I think if you look on the playlist, it's easier to find it that way, because I think I have quite a few videos on there. So yeah, Sarah came through. It can really change her energy that comes through, and today it felt very focused, very empowering, and also, I mean, here in Denmark, we're just sort of getting those stronger energies of spring coming through, and I really connect Sarah to the energies of spring, and I really felt that. I really felt that kind of that when those bulbs and those plants are like pushing through the earth at this time of year, there's this enormous power and determination about it, and I felt that energy as well. Now let me just going to see if I can do this. Okay, so I'm just going to give you the link the Thinkific. So this link here, there is an attunement for Sarah's energy. So if you want to get more attuned to her energy, I think it's like a 15-minute meditation. And if you want to understand more about what she's doing, there's a part 2. So there's meeting Sarah part 1, that's the attunement, and then there's meeting Sarah part 2, and that's like more like me telling about her energy and what I've experienced. And because of course, you know, I don't think I know everything about Sarah. These are the bits that I've come across, and I'm sure as you know people work with her more, it's going to really build up, because I am finding more and more people now that are talking about her, that are writing about her, and I'm reaching out to more and more people as well. And I've started a podcast and I'm interviewing them in the podcast, which you can also find on the website. It's at Anchor FM. I have a Facebook page, Ascended Master Sarah. If you go on there and look down, you'll find all the different groups that I'm doing. I've got the Ascension Grid, Earth Ascension Grid, Build Your Own Ascension Grid, and I've got a Sarah's Channeling Tips group, and also a group called Sarah's Sacred Circle. But yeah, I also have a newsletter that I send out for keep people up to date as well. So just see if there's anything else I should mention before I finish. Just take a moment. Oh yeah, I would like to just mention one more thing. I channeled an ascension pathway from Sarah at the beginning of this year, and there's a kind of thing for each month. And then on YouTube, I do like a monthly transmission to do with that thing. It's great. It's really great. Have a look at that. That's on the blog. That's on the blog on my website, and you know you can see the links and everything. So just got another message there from Julie saying, I felt strong unity and power with the channeled message. I have already had a strong urge to become more connected with the earth healing. Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is something that more and more people are going to feel kind of pulled towards. And as I said, a lot of the things that we can learn, they're quite simple, because I started an earth healing group here in the town where I live in Denmark, in Roskilde, last year. And it's been such a journey of discovery. And I also found not so many things around that were helpful in like, what do I do and how do I do this? But luckily, Spirit and Sarah and all the teachers have come in and kind of given us what we need. And of course, you know, a lot of people have been informally doing this work for years, and yeah, that shared experience is so useful. So I would just like to say thank you very much for joining me. And yeah, if you're interested, sign up for the Violet Flame class. It is $40 at the moment. It's going to be $65 afterwards. If you want to sign up for it and get a good price, sign up for it now. And seriously, it's going to be amazing. There's some amazing tools on there, and it's probably one of the most exciting things I've ever done, and I can't wait to share that. And it's really wonderful. I'm really grateful to learn it live and Thinkific and all these other ways. That means someone like me can sit and blah 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 and do all these things, and you can all reach out and share it as well. So lots of blessings, lots of thanks. You're all really, really welcome. Bye. Bye. Have a good rest of your day, good rest of your Sunday. Bye bye.